Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday morning live. And as you can see, Buzz Mighty Max and I had literally just rolled out of bed. It's been a
No,
week.
I've been awake for a while now, but that doesn't mean that I'm any less tired.
Same. Like, I've been up since 6 a.m. and you can see it.
Yeah.
And I'm right now, I'm like, this coming back. We were just not ready to go back. We need more vacation.
It's this is what my mother-in-law calls it. You have to take a vacation from your vacation. So like when you go on a big trip and you come back, you don't realize how much that's taken out of you. And then when you don't have time to just go back and just relax and let your sleep cycles come back and just ah it's going to be difficult. And I'm telling you, I've been wanting to get back into the swing of things by going to a show, Pasadena flea market, the Rose Bowl flea market, Torrance Antique Fair. There's so many. The Long Beach one, but I haven't had the chance. So I feel like I don't know, like I'm behind, like I'm not in the groove. I contacted you earlier. Let's go to the Mattel store. Let's go. Let's just do something toy related.
I know. I feel like we have that, like the hunger of like
Yeah.
having to do something that's in our normal realm of things. So that way we can feel back,
Yeah.
like, we want to feel like a gear back in the place. But we're like wonky and we're that gear that when you shake the box, you hear it going all around. That's us right now.
Yeah.
Because,
It's
like,
just
honestly, like, I'm like, okay, when I went to Little Tokyo and we came back, I was like, oh, I feel like we're kind of back. But then I was like, wait, I have to do something like on the weekend. I did hit up two vintage shops in the San
mm,
Fernando Valley.
yeah.
I made some content. I haven't posted it yet. Um, but it just didn't. It felt like I was sleeping while doing
Uh-huh.
it. It felt weird. So I was like, okay, I'm like, I still want to get back into the groove of things. So I want to ask Bambi Raptor. I was like, how do you feel after being in Australia for so long? And how long did it take you to get back to like feeling normal after your
Hmm.
trip? Because I know you've been back longer than we have. So
Yeah.
let us know if you have any pointers.
Yeah. And you went all the way to Australia, which means, oh my God, that is a trip and a half. That's a long flight. My wife and I have tried to do it or plan it, and we're like, I don't know, man. I don't know how you do it. So yeah, let me share it up.
Let's see. She says that she still felt an Aussie time for 2 weeks when she came back. Girl, that's me. So this is what, my second week fully back. So I'm still feeling the time lag and all of that. So I'm like, I don't know. My body's feeling better digestion wise, which I'm happy. But oh my gosh, sleep. Now I'm falling asleep when I should, but I still feel so tired.
Yeah, like we've been yesterday. I was just like, dude, am I sick? Or like my wife says, are you terribly injured? Because I'm like, I've been taking naps like every afternoon, and that's unlike me because, dude, guys, I'm surprised I have not been to the garage to just play with the toys or anything. Oh my gosh, dude. I want to go back.
Family's like, glad I had the summer off, but the money is no same, girl. When I have the summer off, so all this time that I've been off, I also do not get paid. So I've been
Mm,
just working on whatever I've been saving and whatever I've been selling when it comes to toy wise stuff. Because I'm like, oh no, I know when summer comes, I'm like, okay, there's
yeah,
there's no income.
it's tough. It's rough. And you went back to work this week. I still have one more week to go, which is kind of
You
like,
sound like
okay, yes. And but August has become not only your birthday month, everybody, but it's also family responsibility month, which
I think
is
that's one of the things that has fallen on us so like heavy that it's just like, hey, you know how like in Big Fish they show you it's like, oh, the moment you fell in love, the time slows down, and that was
yeah,
pretty much us in Japan. Like time slowed down, we had a great time, and then as soon as like that moment happens, it feels like time speeding up to try to
yeah,
catch up.
to try
And
to
that's
catch
how
up.
I
That's
feel. Like
right.
I feel like, oh my gosh, every week we have a series of responsibilities that we need to meet, and it's pretty exhausting because I'm like, okay, there's a lot of planning. There's a lot of
Yeah,
things that.
Just doing
Yeah.
laundry. It's a
Oh,
challenge now.
I haven't done laundry. I've been wearing this shirt for like a week. So
Well,
I
good thing we don't have smell-o-vision. Let's just say that. But let's try to get back into the swing of things. Let's go ahead and recap because again, time passed while we were in Japan, and a lot of cool things happened, including San Diego Comic Con and the reveal of so many toys. Um, but let's go ahead and start with just simple collector news, everyone. Um, because I do have, a bone to pick with a couple of things that have been going on,
ooh,
and I'm really excited for some things, and I'm also surprised for others. So we'll talk about it. All right. So I think I'm sharing the screen. There you go. I got it.
I got
Yeah. Um, so collector news, everybody. McDonald's is doing it's hopefully lead free cups now, but they're
but
plastic,
they're
right?
so sweet when they have left.
Yum, 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 yum.
It's
And
a
I
treat
said
on itself. It's dessert.
it's dessert. But these are plastic, right?
I have no idea.
It says glasses, so
So
collectible
I'm guessing
cups.
it's glass because the original ones were glass. We have all the Disney ones over at my mom's house because she's the one who collected them and also worked
Yeah.
during those times. So she made sure to get the set. And also we had all the Shrek ones. Those things are
Hmm.
so strong. I have dropped those by accident and boy do they bounce, but they do not break. But
Yeah. No, it's
I think
great.
we caught it in the second bounce. We're like, oh, so scary. It almost
Yeah.
died, but it's good.
Yeah, I must admit, if they're doing it the same way as those cups or like the uh, Batman Returns, or no, Batman Forever mugs, man, those are durable freaking glasses. It's
This
ridiculous.
glass looks thinner to me. Even
Yeah.
in the promo photos, they look very thin.
Now, that said, this picture is misleading because it's
Yeah.
making you think that there's so many different types of glasses that you need to collect, but that's not really true. There's only a few of them.
There's only six.
It's only six. Now, these are six collectible cuppies, and they're available starting the 13th of August, which means next week. So, next
Yes.
week, go to McDonald's, get an apple pie or get a sweet tea or something, and try to get the one you like if you're into this type of thing. In my From my point of view, the Barbie, the Hot Wheel, and the two Coca-Colas are pretty dope.
I think it's still just one Coca-Cola and it's just like showing you the front and back. So one of the thing about this thing about
It
this
is.
yeah, about this promotions that's throwing me off is that I'm like, I'm not sure which cups are just the front and back and which cups are just independent cups. I know the McDonald's one is one of its own, the Coca-Cola one is one of its own, but I don't know if Barbie and Hot Wheels are together because Mattel is one property or if they're two separate ones.
No, it's the same one. Because if you notice right here at the corner of the cup, there's the Mattel sign for
Ah,
the Mattel store, and it's blue, and it's right here
oh, I
also. So
see.
it as it spins, it changes design. Ah, okay, okay, okay. All right.
Or it could be otherwise, guys. I'm not sure because, like, right here, if that would be the case, this would be three cups, and then the next ones will be three cups. So if you go to the next slide, let's look. We're trying to let me see, and this one is yeah, they're all around print.
They're all around print. They're all around print.
Yeah,
What I do like is that these are actual pictures, or at the very least, like drawings of toys we've had in the past, because I
yeah, I think
recognize
it's
all of these,
professional.
especially the ones with the Shrek one, because we had so many of those freaking toys. Yeah, like we had that one, so it's pretty cool that they're actually bringing back the toys. I recognize because I hunt Hot Wheels all the time. All of these three cars have definitely been available in a Happy Meal format, and the Barbies too. I'm just mad at the kid that the King is not there.
I know. King Dominic, we will
King
call him
Dom.
Kentuck because
Can't
that was the name we gave him. And I'm telling you, those McDonald's Barbie sets, we had such adventures with them. It was so great. I love them.
Yeah.
Out of these cups, I was really disappointed that there was not a Furby cup because we've had such a giant wave of like Furbies come out of McDonald's, but I
Mhm.
know that they kind of lost the licensing with Hasbro, and that's why now everything comes out through Sonic. So I'm like, I was like, that's such a miss right there. I'm like, Hasbro,
Yeah.
go back to McDonald's.
Or a Yu-Gi-Oh one or a Pokemon one because they've given packs before, and I think they still have the Pokemon license, so that one's a bit of a miss too. Instead of doing, for instance, like I get the Hello Kitty, but I don't even remember a single one of these Joe Cool, etc. Snoopy ones.
I do remember them. I do, because not all of them were plushy ones. Some of them
Mm.
were like harder ones so you can clip on. And we have that after saying, just bring back the actual Jurassic Park cups,
Oh, absolutely.
those big plastic ones.
And we are in a season, or well, in a time, right, where all of these businesses are leaning into the, oh, we're going to release a collectible to bring people in because everything is pricey, or there's just a lot more competition. uh
Mhm.
Theaters are doing that with the popcorn buckets, right? It's to the point that there's a lot of shady aftermarket selling stuff for those things, or the fabled double cup from Godzilla versus Kong that was never
Never
made.
came out. I'm still
Exactly.
sore about that one because I was ready to build new friendships. I was ready to solidify the friendships I had through a sip of that double buddy cup. But
I know.
it was just a dream that was never supposed to happen.
Well, but now you can have this. Hopefully, we get more in the future, right? McDonald's has had a long track of Happy Meal toys, and yeah, hopefully, we get a little bit more of this. Um, and let's talk from McDonald's to Polly Pocket. What's going on here? Is this an actual Polly Pocket house?
Yeah, so you know how Airbnb has been partnering up with Mattel to give us all these like Barbie Dream House slash Ken takeover of the Barbie Dream House. We've also had others with like the Scooby Doo Mystery Machine as one of the places that you can actually sleep on. So they went ahead. Oh, and they also did the X-Men base last time too. So every time there's like a big brand collaboration or something happening for a big brand, they've been partnering up with them and giving you an opportunity to kind of stay in these iconic locations. And this time they went ahead and remade a Polly Pocket compact for you to actually stay in. It is,
Whoa.
yeah, it's 42 foot tall. It is gonna be, I believe it's $89 per person, like per guest. And you can only, I think there's only 3 times that you can sleep over in it. And the rest of the times are just booking tours for you to go, like visit Polly's home. And you can access every level of the house.
Mm. Now, I think that this is such a cool idea, and I really hope. Where is this place for the? Is it not in California?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Oh my god! I really hope they bring something like that to California, because this looks so cool, and I would love to go because it's ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. Now, would you want to be in there?
I would love to like just walk around and see what it's like because it just looks like my brain can't math it. My brain looks at it and it's like what? So I don't know if the proportions are correct to the dolls, to us as pretending to be the dolls. But honestly, it just looks great. As an Airbnb is like having to sleep there, I'm like, I know you're gonna need a lot of sunblock to just even visit because it's a very reflective surfaces and there's no coverage.
No,
So
I'm pretty sure this is a glamping type of deal where you sleeping actually off site, right? But you can actually go
actually,
visit.
in the video we're gonna see, because we did see one of the YouTubers who already was invited to visit that. This is a YouTuber that mainly does content about millennials. So one of the things about these collaborations that always makes me a little is that they never really invite big toy collectors into them. It's mainly bigger, like YouTubers that sometimes they're like, oh, you're old enough to remember it, so just come visit. For her,
Mm.
she does some millennial and like nostalgic content, but not officially and just on toys. So if you click play, you will be able to see like what the house looks like and where you actually do sleep.
No way. Okay, let's take a look.
Yeah, it's really funny because like those little stones you see there show you the way.
So you have the staircase. Okay. There's an
And you
actual
are,
function TV.
yeah, and then you are welcomed by a message from Polly when you do walk in. So she's pretty much out in her 25th or 30th birthday celebration. So her house is up for you to kind of stay. That's pretty much the idea, that she's out on vacation enjoying her birthday and that her house is available in Airbnb.
That's the fridge,
Everything
right?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, everything you can interact with. And like for sure it's like a lot of photo ops opportunities. It looks really fun. Mostly I guess if you've been a really big Polly Pocket collectors, this would be such a like, full circle moment. And this is the glamping situation where
Yeah,
you will be
I
sleeping.
thought so.
And like if you see the description of the listing, it says it has like 5 bedrooms. I'm like, no, those are just 5 little cots next to each other.
No way. Well, uh, interesting. But you know what I inevitably always think about when I see these things
Yeah.
is what happens to them after the hype? They just get dismantled and thrown out.
I don't know. I feel like they might get dismantled and just kind of put back into like a props department of some sort. Because Airbnb has been doing it with a couple of other places and they're like massive structures. So I have no idea like where they would be keeping a lot of this stuff or if a lot of it is available for like sale. Imagine like after it's done, they'll do like an auction to just buy like a Polly Pocket couch or something.
Oh yeah, because I can definitely see how this is going to be. If you part it out, some people will really, really want it. Like it could be a centerpiece of your store if you have a collectible store, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm like, I feel like if they're not selling the stuff and just disposing of them, that's such a loss on their part because, like, I know for a fact a lot of people would be down to purchase any of this stuff.
Yeah, like because I imagine if it rains, for example, they're not just gonna close the whole thing with a freaking crane. They go like, push, which would be cool, but I don't think they make hinges that big. But yeah, if it rains, it's over. It's total. You
Yeah, it's
know.
like, oh, I went to visit it during the rain. I bet it's so slippery too.
Yeah, it's true. I wonder. I'm sure you have to sign a some sort of waiver, liability waiver before you step foot into that thing. Because yeah, Polly Pocket lives in very weird houses. I always thought about how everything is so narrow, right? I'm like, it's just like, dude, Polly, this is not comfortable. I know she was probably foreseeing where California home prices are before,
Yeah.
right? Before it was cool, right? Now, coming out of San Diego Comic Con and sometime before, because this had been announced way, way before, right? I've
Yeah.
seen them in the stores already. The biker mice from Mars, revived by Nacelle.
Yeah.
So
They're now available at Walmart for pre-order for that price is wrong. It is not $29.99. It is $29.97 because
ah,
that's what Walmart likes to show. It's like, look, we give you discounts by
a
a
disc,
couple of things.
a couple of cents. I'm like, dude, what the hell is that? And I've been to Walmart this week, and
Mhm.
all the toys have now been. Even the Hot Wheels are behind glass
Yeah,
case.
everything's behind glass place. Like you're literally just going into like a really trashy museum when you go to Walmart. Like,
Yes, and everything is old, dude. So I was just like, dude, okay, nah. I can never find anything good in my Walmart. Maybe one or two times I have, but other than that, it's disappointment in toy aisle every single time. However, if you go to your comic book stores, you can also find these. That's where I've seen them. Your comic book shops. I think the comic book has an entire set and a few more. So this is your cup of tea. Definitely, look for them. Uh, One of the things that I don't like is that they have the old ball hips type of
mm,
articulation, right? Which I think we were past, but I feel like it just works better for the motorcycles, you know?
I think so too. Yeah,
Now
I think that's
you
huh?
were not a fan of this show. Do you remember
No, the only
anything about
thing
the show?
I don't know anything about the show. The only thing I know about that show is the helmet. because we had that helmet growing up, and that's the only thing I remember. I was like, oh, I remember this helmet, or like a similar helmet. But yeah, that's about it. I don't know anything from Biker Mice from Mars or like the Moo Mesa ones.
Yeah,
That's
same.
I was not yet of consciousness when those occurred.
When it comes to those properties, it's weird because they came out and I remember them, but I have so many more older cartoons that I remember more vividly than these. Even though I did have one of the toys, I think I had the White Mouse.
Hmm.
That's the motorcycle helmet that we had because somebody stole the toy.
The mouse.
The only thing I had was the backpack, which if we squeezed it, squirted water, and I had the helmet. And even then, I wasn't a huge fan of this property. I remember our cousin Eric was, to the point that
Mhm.
his birthday, uh, this was, I feel like, was one of the biggest baller moves from my aunt. During his birthday, she was giving every boy a biker mice from Mars, a figure.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's
And
expensive.
yeah, and I was just like, dude, no way. This is a toy. Like, this is not like a
This is like a
dollar.
full present, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
this
this
is a
is
full.
not a little goodie bag style toy. This is a full on
Exact.
present. This is birthday or Christmas level.
Yes, yes. I was just like, okay, like I'm not gonna complain. Um, but Eric got the one, got moto with the motorcycle, so like he
Nice.
still got the biggest price, right? But I remember me getting that. I was just like, okay, I
You're
didn't know
like,
it
is
was
this
my
legal?
birthday. Yeah, was this a mistake? I was ready to give it away, to give it back, and I'm like, I think it's a mistake
I
here.
was like, maybe we were just supposed to hold them for the photos, but
Yeah, yeah, it was just like I was like, damn, on what the hell? Like you're
that's so
giving
cool.
every boy
I do
one?
remember that her party planning was always really cool because the other time, also for one of their birthdays, we ended up with some really cool like water guns that those things
Oh
lasted
my god! And I don't know about you, but we played with those things for about 2 hours. It was
longer.
so
I remember having them for so long. Like we'll pull them out of the toy chest. I'm like, oh yeah, it still works. It still had like all the water in it. Squirt someone with a good bacterial infection.
oh my god. Back in the day when you were a kid and bacterial infections simply were not a thing that you
You
knew or
worried
cared
about.
about, you know? Yeah. So that's the one straight. Oh
Oh wait, share,
damn!
share, share, share the screen, share the screen.
No, it's well. Where's Pee Wee's comment?
Wait, share the screen. I have a comment about that. You're not sharing.
Okay, there we go.
So when I posted this news on my on my story, this comment came in. So you can go ahead and do the click and straight to Ross. It cracked me up. So Pee-wee, thank you for this beautiful bubble of commentary. So if you also don't want to pre-order it, you don't want to get it from your comic book shop, and you just kind of want to wait for it to go to straight to Ross, you may go ahead and wait for that gamble.
And you know what? I feel like this is definitely a candidate for Ross for sure because I feel like yes, they are cool. There's nostalgia behind it for sure, but not in the amount.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah, not in the amount that even me who grew up in that time who owned the original figures, I don't have the need to say, "Oh, I want it back." Like not really.
You're like, I'm
So
good.
like yeah, is there a traumatic story? Like my toy was stolen, sure, but even then I'm like wasn't a big fan at the beginning and I didn't really care afterwards. So yeah, it
As
is
they're gonna
that.
sell, can you take on like Hutch the Bee? You'll take my money if you make Hutch the Bee.
Dude, take on Candy, take on Heidi, take all these like anime properties that nobody's touching right now and just make them. Oh, you know what? Take Hayao Miyazaki's portfolio. Nobody's using that. Do it now.
You want an old show that looks like this? Just take Mummies Alive. Take Mummies Alive and give it to me. Come on.
Easy. Easy
I'll buy
means
it.
yes, for sure. But yes, bit underwhelming here. Now, Mondo is doing the opposite of underwhelming you. They're overwhelming you to the point that they're overwhelming you even in the clock. Because remember that this rogue, gorgeous as she is, had a lot of exclusives, right? So, for example, the X-Men Evolution, which is a wonderful show. X-Men
Yeah.
Evolution, I think the Laserhead, they were all exclusives for like the early backers or so, and they were sold out. So I don't know what's going on with this release here.
Yeah, it just came out on their website that this is pretty much the pack of that they're having. Um, I
Hmm.
was gonna research a little more into it, but I kind of got distracted. So let me go ahead and pull it up right here. That's the magic of not having to do it on our phone, the live, that we can go ahead and pull up the news. So pretty much this was posted 2 days ago by them. And it says continuing our release of the uncanny versions of our X-TAS figures, we present our uncanny rogue at scale of 1/6, standing 11.75 inches high. The figure comes complete with swappable hands and portraits to show off her complex power set and
Hmm.
personality. Restricted to just 1,500 total figures, the Uncanny variant also features a destroyed Sentinel base plus 3 bonus portraits, including looks from the episode Deadly Reunions and the X-Men Evolution. Available online only starting tomorrow at noon, and this was 2 days ago.
Yeah, you can still pre-order it right now. It is $235. I guess this is a re-release from the one that was solicited. Yes, exactly. It was solicited earlier. Um, so there was one correct. That's the case. So one that was based on the comic book, and one that
Mm.
was that's a little bit more shiny. That's pretty much all it is. Uh, and apparently, if you get this one, you're gonna get pretty much all the accessories that a lot of people were really mad at that they missed. And this is a D23 exclusive, which is going on this weekend.
Yes, and we have a lot of D23 news coming up as well because a lot of things are being released even as we speak. Like I just
Yeah,
saw somebody open up some Doorables. I know Disney has a line of this small toys called Doorables, and now they've created dolls. So we'll see how that goes. And
I'm just really mad at the fact that some people who ordered that first Rogue, and they said, well, okay, yeah, and they didn't get the chance to get the extra heads because they got there late, so they only got the basic offering. Uh, they didn't just wait, you know. They still got it because, dude, now you have this all these for a price that is only $20 cheaper than the base offering from the previous release. That is insane.
that's the thing. It's like it's such a gamble of whether you wait on a figure or
Mhm.
you don't, because it's really up to the producers of that figure of whether they're actually gonna make another re-release or if they're not. Like I think like if it's with Hasbro, it's most likely a no. But if it's like McFarlane, it's yes, maybe he'll just be shiny or just
Yeah,
be one solid
or
color.
clear, no color, black and white. I get all that. Now,
And I'm guessing Mondo's doing the same now because they're like, okay, now we're gonna give it to you. Here's a whole bundle pack, but we're only doing limited amount, okay,
yeah.
guys?
Thank God that these are like Barbie size, because otherwise I'll be in a hole in the ground living in it, because it's way too expensive to keep track of. They already did a Cyclops and I missed it, so I'm like, I'm admiring it from afar.
You're like, I dodged one there.
I dodged several because even Omega Red looks freaking gorgeous. But
He
no,
does look good. And I feel like he brings way less
yeah,
stuff than
yeah.
Rogue.
But it's just thicker. He's thicker than a Snicker. But yeah, he's just a lot. I think that all of his faces, they're not as expressive as they should be. Maybe they could have like more tendrils or something. This is very simple, bare bones, really bare bones. Um, now we got this thing.
So we did have some announcements in D23 that like things that nobody was asking for. Exactly nobody. Like Who wants a Mufasa origins story? Maybe an animated. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
down to explore that. But in Nat Geo style, nah, man. Even the real Lion King one, I was gonna say Lion Queen. The 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 one that we watched for the Lion King, it was just like Nat Geo, but with
yeah, it was
voice.
awful.
Yeah, it was
It was
not
awful.
good.
Yeah, I don't know who keeps telling Disney, yeah, bro, go ahead and remake everything that you have, your entire library, remake it in like CG realistic animal. It sucks.
Yes, I'm like, it doesn't, like the Lion King is one of those properties that just doesn't lend itself very well to do that. Like
Yeah,
live action, yeah, do the people ones. Those are a little easier to work with. Like I feel like the ones that are easier people ones, they haven't really done. They have gone with the more complicated ones. When I'm like, you can literally go Tarzan.
and okay, and even Tarzan, they will include the gorillas being like CG, like this, like
Oh,
animated CG. And again, who is telling you that people want this? And you can't argue with, oh, we're bringing in new fans, because I feel bad for the kids who go see this and they're like, oh yeah, that's the Lion King. It's like, kid, let me show you the truth.
let me show you the trauma.
Let me show you everything that you are being fed, force fed, really, versus everything that already exists. Like when my child is born, they're not gonna know this Mufasa movies. They're not. I'm just gonna show them the old ones. They're perfectly fine.
And my question is like, how many people are actually like, is it really making a revenue for them in theaters? Or is it just because people have the curiosity to go see it?
I don't know. According from what I've heard, they do really good in China, but that's about it. You know,
Oh.
I'm not sure. And let's move to Avatar. And personally, Piggy, you hate Avatar.
Exactly. Like I hated the first one. I never watched the second one. I don't want to. I don't like that property. It makes me uncomfortable. So I'm like, why are you continuing? And I was like, you know what? Whatever. It's just another thing. I'm just not gonna pay for. It's all good.
I see you.
Ugh. I'm
Um,
telling you, I went with an open mind for the first one, and then we got like some kind of weird stuff, and I was like, I don't know, man. I'm good. I'm good.
yeah, I feel like Avatar are like they're fun movies. Like I get it. They're fun movies, but they're trying to make this property bigger than what it really is, and that I'm like, okay, no, I'm okay with no more Avatar. And
Maybe
this
I was
one,
like, just let it be. Let the fans create their OCs and let them live, like make their own little world. That's fine. I think this is a good Avatar is a good thing where people can just create a lot of fan made stories,
hmm,
and that's where you can live. We don't need to make those fan made stories into actual film. I
okay,
feel like
the
just
last
let them
one,
live in the internet.
started with childbirth. You know, the
God.
Navi childbirth. Now I wonder what this one is going to start with.
Because in the first one, we literally saw them having the sassy
Activity.
time. And I was like, I did not sign up for this. My eyes.
For a Disney movie, that's kind of out there, for sure. So if
Oh,
you like it, excellent. Please let us know if you like the Mufasa, this style of movie. If you find them fun, is there anything that makes them redeemable? That would be something I'm really interested to read or to hear about. So please, if you like them, sound off in the comments, because geez, I don't know, man. I think I thought that we were going to at some point realize, no, this is not a good idea. But judging by the latest announcements in D23, I think we're going to go through all the movies. We're going to get to Toy Story again,
oh
some sort of like
no.
realistic. And we're going to get to
That would
Monsters.
be so creepy.
Yeah, then we're gonna go through Monsters Inc. Realistic. We're gonna go through like Zootopia, like, and I'm like, Jesus, no, we're gonna go through the
You talk
entire.
about real like animals.
Oh, wait until they do Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in this, you
Oh,
know.
they honestly, I would love to see that one. I would totally pay to see Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in like people version. And that is actually the only one I'm actually looking forward to now.
You know what? I hope that if they get there, they get there. Uh,
Yeah, 'cause, like I think they can make it pretty hellish, pretty
yeah,
metal.
pretty metal. All right, so oh my god, Gra-
By the way, that was the that was the clip that they have on the 23 as the picture for like when you click to see the trailer of it. And I was like, really, guys, really, like it's cute, but it feels cursed.
yeah, everything feels cursed. Now, look at this Stitch.
Oh my gosh, wait, Bambi Raptors like Zootopia, but just fursuits. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It would just be like the furry suits. Absolutely. Okay, now this Lilo and Stitch. This Stitch. It doesn't look terrible.
It doesn't. And like I feel like Lilo and Stitch is one of those movies that does lend itself to a action, like a live action film, because it does focus like on more on human than in anything. And I was like, okay, I'm not mad about it, but I'm also not looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, exactly. The way I look at these movies is like, all right, I'm not, like you said, I'm not mad about it, but why break something that is already perfect? Like why fix it? There's nothing to fix. That movie is great. You
And I
know?
feel like Disney is also like getting a lot of attention from casting in all of these films. Like I feel like they
Yeah.
like the attention that they're getting, whether positive or negative. They love getting attention when it comes to casting, voicing of
Mhm.
all of of the characters. I'm like, I don't like the fact that they're encouraging a lot of like like fights in the comments in a way.
Mm.
I was like, guys, I'm like,
Yeah, there is something to be said about the fact that Disney is trying to kind of you can look at everything from with an angle of cynicism. Like, so let's just be that person at the moment and say, yeah, Disney gets a lot of really good PR by saying, oh, we're doing these movies and all the actors who participate in it, they belong to this particular cultural group, or there's very realistic. We're incorporating all these elements of being very respectful for for the culture that it features, and that's great. That's
mm.
really really good. But at the same time, it's just like, why can't you make something new? You know,
And
why?
like create something new while respecting these
Yeah,
cultures. Like if you want to feature them, create a new world where everybody's gonna be like excited to participate in it.
yeah. I
But
feel
I
like,
feel like they just really like to make all this discord. I'm just like a lot of this discord is totally unnecessary.
and when you've shown that you can, for example, Encanto is good, right?
Yeah.
And it's a brand new IP type of idea. The other one is the Dia de los Muertos one. What's the name of the Pixar one?
Coco.
Coco. Yeah, Coco.
But
Coco's
then that
another
also
one.
came with a little bit of backlash because Disney, it's a giant corporation. So they try to market Dia de los Muertos.
Oh yeah, they did. They
They
did. They
try
try
to
to own
copyright
it.
it. And I was like, don't do that. I'm like, why are you so evil? Why are you so evil, Disney?
No, and what was it? There was a strike maybe about 2 to 3 weeks ago, right? At Disney, all the employees, all the cast members, right, were out in Disney. They were striking, and they eventually settled. They got pay right. I'm not entirely sure what all the benefits were that they won, but as soon as this deal was kind of reaching its agreement point, we started hearing about, oh, in commercials, right, in the Olympics, oh, Disney has given me scholarship and it's my dream and I can combine my dream with my career. And then a lot of really Disney's really positive type of commercials, right? So I'm like, yeah, we know what you're doing. You like to have a really good PR image, public relation image, but
But you
let's
evil.
not get it twisted. You're
Yeah,
self-interested. Yeah,
chill.
yeah. You're self-interested, just Disney. Don't
Mhm.
don't
Don't
Don't.
twist it. Don't say that you're trying to do something positive when you just really want PR.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with it that upsets me. That I'm like, you're just exploiting people
Now,
because you
Moana
want
2, Moana 2, I'm not even going to talk about Incredibles 3 because Incredibles 2 felt unnecessary. I feel like Incredibles 1 is perfect. Incredibles 2 was okay, but it's just like, why, dude? And
I don't
Incredibles
mind
3,
Incredibles too. I just don't remember it out of the top of my head, but I do remember like it was okay.
like, it wasn't
Moana
bad.
one was great. Moana two is I feel like it's unnecessary.
Yes, Moana 2 is unnecessary. And I never cared for the animal companions less than in Moana.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like Hey Hey is not very memorable. And is it Pua, the pig?
I wouldn't
Um,
know.
it's whatever. It just acts like a dog in pig skin.
Yeah. And yes, the first one had, I wouldn't say one good song, right? The You're Welcome song. I really do like that. I
I'm
feel like,
gonna beg to differ. I really like the songs from Moana one. Number one, I was a preschool teacher during the time, and all my kids were singing them. So I might be biased when it comes to that because I was listening to them like daily. So I do know every single song of Moana one, and I will sing it loud and proud.
okay, maybe I have to revisit it. I remember the one that stuck with me after I watched it the one time, because I'll admit I only watched it one time, is the You're Welcome song. And maybe the Shiny from the crab,
That one took
right?
a while to warm up to me,
Yeah,
but
it's not a
it
very
did.
good song because it's not singable, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it's the same feeling I have, which I love this song. I've grown to really love this song, and it's the one from Princess and the Frog, the Voodoo.
Oh yes.
Oh my God, the Are You Ready? Friend, no, what's it called? Friends from the Other Side. Oh my
Yes.
God, the way starts the song, with the paw on the trigger, he goes, oh, it's like
I
honey.
remember when we watched it in theaters, all the songs from Princess and the Frog felt a little off.
Yeah,
But I feel like revisiting it, we're so vibing with it. So I feel
yeah.
like it's the same thing with the Moana songs. You know,
I,
that you're just like, but then once you hear it again, you're like, yeah.
I will have to watch it again because we'll see. Um, Now, a lot of these things are happening during D23, and a lot of trailers have been released. We have a brand new Ironheart, we have a brand new Daredevil trailer. They have a look at the Hood, which is another Marvel villain. So there's a lot of things. We got to see the Red Hulk. So if you are into the superhero, genre, D23 is giving you a lot of the, Marvel series, including a sneak peek of, or maybe like a few shots of the next Mandalorian season, which, thank God, features Zeb, hopefully a lot more prominently.
Because his CGI was expensive. They're
Yeah,
like, we can only include him in one scene.
and it's a lot of people are speculating because the scene takes place inside the Razor Crest
Oh.
that Zeb might have rebuilt the Razor Crest, which is kind of cool, right? But it may be completely different ship, only very similar. So the screenshots are out there. No, this was one of those, you can't have any cameras, you can't record it, but of course people did. It's already on the web, and you can go find them. We're not going to show it to you here, right? But if you look for them, they're very easy. You're going to find them. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is that it's really toy related and it's controversial, and we never expected it to be controversial, is the Masters of the Universe Mattel Creations Kickstarter or crowdfunded, right? Snake Lair. Now,
Mm.
this was the fan vote winner from
Uh-huh.
last year's poll. They said, hey, fans, what do you want? Do you want this truck? Do you want this thing? Do you want this tank? Do you want the snake lair? Or do you want a fright zone again? Right?
Uh-huh.
So they said, okay, we're going to leave it up to the fans. And then the fans voted, we want the snake lair, right?
Okay.
And they said, well, this is the snake lair concept art. This has never been released as far as an actual toy. It was never manufactured. It was just drawn. There was
Mhm.
concept art, and this is how it looks. And then Mattel was super duper excited, and they said, "Boom! Here you go, Snake Lair." Right? It folds. It has this like mechanical toy that just kind of detaches, and it's a car, it's a vehicle, and it's about $300. And they said,
Ooh.
"Oh, cool! Look at it!" Everybody was covering it. Pixel Dan covered it on his YouTube show, so please go check it
Mhm.
out. But now,
Mhm.
apparently, people have said, "No, Snake Layer, we are really angry with you. We don't want
Why?
this anymore. This is never what we wanted." And the fan reaction has been so negative that Mattel Creations said, "We are halting the development of Snake Layer." Like,
Okay, and you know what happened is that fans were like, "This is what we want. This is what we want." But once they saw the price point, they're like, "We need a reason not to want it." You know what? We just it's just not what we imagined. We don't
exactly,
want
that's
it
exactly what they're
anymore.
saying. They're
So
like,
I'm like,
"Well,
guys, nah. They're like, it doesn't have the handle on the top.
yes." They
Okay,
were like, "Oh no, well, it doesn't look like anything like the canon art or the,
but
you
I,
know."
I I will be fair with them in the fact that it doesn't look like what they showed initially as
Yeah,
the voting thing. You know, like
true.
the top. I feel like what is really throwing it off is that the lack of the handle on the top. That little section of the entrance doesn't match the concept art that they had initially given.
Yeah, so they don't. They're like, okay, it doesn't match the art. It doesn't match the concept art. Like, what's going on here? Like, this snake looks so different. Like, what?
You
So
know what this reminds me of? Oh my gosh. Okay, you know those giant play sets you always find at the thrift stores, and they're always like overly complicated. There's some Batman ones, there's some Power Ranger ones. There's these
yes.
tiny little superheroes that have the super sick play sets. Um, but I don't remember what brand they're from. Imaginext. I think they're Imaginext.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that when you move forward, that's what that looks like to me. It looks like an
Mhm.
Imaginext playset because this looks Motu inspired Motu, but
Yeah,
this looks Imaginext
yeah,
Motu, and the next one Imaginext.
yeah. You know what? Like, looking back at it, they really screwed the pooch here when it comes to the way the snake look. It doesn't look Motu. You're right.
It
And
doesn't.
the biggest thing is like the eyes. The eyes look just normal red dots, as opposed to this, it just looks evil, like ah, you
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Let me see if I can share my screen. Uh, let me see. Am I okay? Let me see. Okay, there. So this is Imaginext, and this is an
Yes.
Imaginext snake. Can you see it?
Yep, I see it. You're right. It does look. It doesn't look Motu.
It doesn't look Motu. You know, initially I was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and support Mattel with this call because it did give fans an option. But now that I see it closer, it doesn't look Motu. It looks like this. It looks Imaginext.
You're right. It does look Imaginex. Just
Yeah, it's like overly
basic.
simplified.
Yeah, basic enough. Overly simplified with no true soul behind it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I feel like it just stopped being what it had to be.
Yeah, it doesn't have the Motu DNA. I guess you're right in that sense. There are so many little things of this drawing that makes it look so much more imposing
Mm-hmm.
than the actual, release. Uh, and for that reason, and you can go watch Pixel Dance coverage on it because he ran polls about like why is it that you don't want it
Don't like.
anymore,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, we have no nostalgia towards it, and that I think is valid considering how different it looks, right?
Even like the coloration of the bricks, like, oh, I don't know if I can bring down my Castle Grayskull, but I'm like, if you look at the original design there, there's this like off painting in the bricks
Yeah,
that's really like Motu. It's like it's really old school that slightly fades in, fades out. But I'm like, in there, it doesn't have that. It just has like a little bit of moss in the bottom. But I was like, I can do that.
Yeah, it's
There's no independent bricks. There's no independent bricks. It's just
no,
like
there isn't. It and what really kind of gets me is the eyes as well as the snakes that are next to the big snake, right?
mhm,
Like you
there's
see
no,
them.
they're gone.
They're still there, but they're not even colored. They're not painted.
Yeah, and
They're
then
like,
like that little
and they're so
Gatling
small.
gun is not
Yeah,
next to it; it's above it now.
yeah. It
And like,
doesn't look
mhm.
sinister.
And there's something about like the a signature Motu playset that things are a little bit crammed,
Hmm.
but they kind of work. And
Yeah.
that's what we're missing here. Everything's nicely expanded. There's enough space for everything and everyone, but it just looks lacking. It looks like it's lacking on detail.
Mm. Like the evil lair from Skeletor, right? That one has a story that you can actually walk around the
Hmm.
cave outside, right? So like it makes your imagination definitely wonder. So this is the controversy that's going on right now. The good thing is that Mattel is listening to the fans and is saying, well, we're going to they released a poll for it
Hmm.
themselves and they stopped the production uh, because they clearly realized, well, this is not going to do well, right?
No,
And instead of going through a 100% failure campaign, they
like
said, well,
Hasbro usually does.
exactly. Hasbro just said, well, this is going to fail. Let's just let it fail. I don't care.
It's like, but you wanted this, now you're gonna eat it. You know
Yeah.
that's Hasbro. That's the kind of parenting Hasbro's been doing for us. But
Yeah.
Mattel is
They're
like,
like,
oh, okay, let's try something else then.
yeah. Hasbro's the parents is like, you don't want to eat this? Well, you go home. We're not going to eat anything today then. You're just going to go home, go
Mhm.
to sleep hungry, you know? Yeah.
Exactly.
Mattel is doing good in that sense. So there's a bit of like fan outcry and then Mattel kind of compliments. So I think it's a little bit of a healthier relationship, right?
Honestly, the healthiest relationship you can have with a corporation.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Well said. Now, we are that is it for the regular slides. Now, San Diego Comic Con had a lot, and while we are having the show a little bit earlier than normal because I do have a place to be. I do want to talk about a few things that happened in San Diego Comic Con because I just simply cannot wait until next week to talk about it. So it's okay if we run a little bit longer than we expected. I want to get your thoughts on the Jada Toys Scooby Doo figs. Okay.
Okay, so I want to be very excited for them. I love the face sculpt. I feel like that's where everything's at, but I don't know about this articulation. I'm kind of thrown off
I
because I'm
think
like, it's
uh-huh.
the places of articulation is very visible, mainly like on the chest. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it because I do have a set of Scooby Doo figures that are also articulated, obviously poorly articulated, but it looks kind of like that. The cuts of the articulation look as rough as this ones do as well. So that's what's throwing me off.
I think with
But
Shaggy they screwed up and they should have just done a bendy wire torso, you know.
yeah, like
As a,
I let me see if I have mine at hand.
I like how the camera's trying to like
Catch
follow
me.
you around, yeah.
I know I've been playing with that. Some of the Motu, Motu inspired. See, I had a
Yeah,
castle musical at hand. Let me see. Oh, here I have a Shaggy. Okay, so this is the Shaggy that I have,
yeah.
and yeah, he can do the little hand thing. The articulation's very trashy. It's just hinge, and then like his legs go forward, back, and his knees bend. Like I don't feel like much of it is gonna be like how much of a higher bend do I need? Do I need double jointed knees for Shaggy? I don't think so. I
Oh, I
really
see.
don't think so because it's a cartoon. He doesn't move that way. I might need double jointed for the arms because so he can like a little more articulation so he can like hold Scooby when he jumps on him. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I will just want like more arm articulation. I guess like the torso would make sense, a little bendiness,
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, he always just like already has his built-in slouch on his neck. So I think that the cut might have not been as needed.
Well, the cuts are, definitely questionable. The one, especially in the torso. I think that the elder articulation is okay. I'm really happy that we get uh, some really cartoon accurate sculpts.
And what makes me excited is all the bad guys that we're gonna have available with them.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I'm excited about that. I do want to see how they do our girlies. Like Daphne, I don't think they've ever done her wrong because even in this limited articulation, she does great.
Yeah, it's
The
not a
one
bad.
that I
It's not a bad
usually have
set.
an hmm?
It's not a bad set.
Yeah, the one that I usually have an issue with is Velma because of her skirt or just because of like they always
The
do my
bagginess.
girl wrong.
Yeah, the bagginess of her clothes makes articulation in the traditional sense kind of weird.
Yeah, so they never give her enough articulation, or sometimes they just throw off the face sculpt.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't know. So I have all of them here. I just couldn't dig them all out. I have Freddie as well here. I think Freddie needs a little bit more articulation because boy
Yeah,
is building traps all day long. He needs a double jointed knees
he needs
and
to be able
elbows.
to crouch down and
Yeah,
yeah, and said yeah. Now they're starting with Shaggy. Did you think that they needed to start with Scooby instead?
I think Scooby's a tricky one to start with because that's a lot of joints.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one that should move the best, and that should be
Yeah.
the one that I think that this line will shine or be dead in the water, depending on the alternative head sculpt. If they do alternative head sculpts with scared, or even they do a special with the kind of like high Shaggy, then I can see how this will be a complete success. Now,
I feel like scared will be awesome. And like when they're thinking about Scooby, they need to think about I really love how the bad guys look, and I'm not upset about any of the articulation of the bad guys. The
yeah, like,
creeper looks amazing. So look,
and
I have this Scooby. This is the most articulated Scooby I have. He does have the same similar joints that we saw with the other guys in the knees, in the knees, and all his knees, honestly. His tail and his neck. But that's all we got. Nothing too special. So I am excited about them because I do want a better set. Because these guys, I've tried to photograph them and I have. It's just really difficult to get certain poses. So I think I will be breaking the bank and buying these.
yeah, Bambi Rabbit says they need sub sandwiches and scared faces. They absolutely do. They
Yeah, they do.
absolutely
Yeah, they do.
do.
And Freddie needs a trap. He needs a net.
Yeah, so Jada Toys again, it's they're practicing a lot with unconventional body types, right? So we
This
have
one looks
Tony the
really
Tiger,
good.
Tony the Tiger looks beautiful, dude.
I'm telling you, can make some great photos with Tony.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
So I like the fact that Jada is saying, yeah, we're gonna take these characters that you think were just static would look great, but we're gonna try and we're gonna do like look at this little guy. This little guy actually has articulation on his little legs. You know,
Wow.
like we're gonna try, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and I think that if they keep on going in the same route, by the time they get to Scooby, it's gonna be freaking amazing. And I
Yeah, because
really
to
hope,
me that Shaggy looked a little rough.
yeah,
I was
the
like,
Shaggy look a little rough.
yeah, the Shaggy looks a little rough, and it doesn't bring confidence on the brand to me. But once I see the Creeper, he looks good.
Yeah, I feel like the Creeper should have been the only one you released that day. You know?
Yeah, because Shaggy's a little underwhelming.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
because
Mostly if you're not showing me extra hands or expressions, you don't have that super cartoony scared face or anything. I don't know. Or maybe like a costume. You know how they always dress up to distract the monster? That
yeah,
would
with
be
the
great.
clown nose, yeah, it'll be hilarious. So that it was one of the standouts for sure for San Diego Comic Con, and there's been so much more that's been released. The Mondo, Ghostbusters. You had this little. They say it's a little too small, but this chamber is really cool. the stasis chambers for your
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z characters. You have a whole bunch of Batman. You have
Sin City?
probably Sin City Mesco, right?
Wow.
Mesco can definitely do this really well. Uh, so we are, living in we continue to live in the golden age of toys, right?
Yes.
And to the point that, check this out, we are getting like a motorcycle that was on a cover of a manga. It's completely irrelevant to it, and but it's there
Yeah,
now.
I'm telling people are waiting for him because all those vehicles were so beautifully designed. What'd
Now,
you get?
thanks to thanks to my friend Lenore, well, my wife's friend, and now my friend. She was at San Diego Comic Con, and she was able to get me the Goku and Gohan 2-pack. And I gotta say, this thing is huge and just absolutely gorgeous. I think it's a complete set. Like, it brings Goku, it brings Gohan, and it brings the Nimbus.
That's so cool.
And it's the Goku that you and I grew up with, Dragon Ball Z, right?
The man child.
The man child, the happy-go-lucky man child. So far, I have not opened it. I have not taken it out. I will do that right now,
Be
just so I
careful.
can show you all the things that it grew. Oh my gosh, so many. So in
Wow.
the
That box is packed. Like they used every inch of that box to put something in it. Oh, look at Gohan.
look at all the Goku expressions, and look at the alternative gi for Gohan.
You get a congrats from Bambi Raptor.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is wonderful. And in the back, you have Nimbus.
Yes. Oh, that's massive. Ooh, for some reason I want to bite it.
I'm not. It's so cute, dude.
That is adorable. Did you ever think that you were gonna own a Nimbus?
No, I never did. To be honest, I never did. It brings his staff, which is one of those
Nice.
forgotten accessories, and it brings two Nimbus tails.
Ooh. Oh, if you're going full speed or if you're
Yeah.
turning. Ah,
So he has the.
that's really good.
Or the classics that you can recreate that. Dun, 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 dun.
I just came. Yeah, like I came out from behind this mountain, kind of.
Oh my gosh, dude. So it's just so good. Now, Goku, having this is my definitive Goku for sure. I don't have any other Goku, so I'm glad I got this one.
That's so cute.
The
That was
Dragon
him at
Ball,
his cutest.
the Dragon Ball
Oh,
on
and it's
top is
translucent.
translucent and it has the 4 stars.
That's so cute. It's Grandpa.
I know. He has articulation, not too much, right? Because of the gi and the way they make it. But oh my god, look, he has a little tail.
That is so cute. And you recently got an Anya, so you can make some cute poses with them
Dude,
together.
I totally can.
Oh my gosh, you can ride him.
Dude, the Goku expressions are amazing too. Look at this one.
They're so pure. That's a pure Goku.
Yeah, that's pure Goku, and I'm really, really happy to have it. And I want to thank my friend for actually getting it because I was in Japan. No, I wasn't in Japan. We were back already, right? So that's so cool.
That is so cute.
And with that, I think we're gonna call it a day.
Yes, honestly, that's a nice closing to it. And like I'm telling you, we're slowly getting back into it. We really wanted to come back with like a big punch, but it looks like travel gave us a big punch in the face.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we're slowly getting back into it, guys. And thank you for tuning in a little earlier than usual. We just had to accommodate for some personal things that we have to take care of as well. And as we move forward, again, it's the beginning of, well, it is the middle of summer,
The
but it
end
is
of
the
summer.
beginning of like kind of getting into spooky season, getting into a holiday season, getting into like I love that number. It's so cool. So we might be doing a little bit more accommodating to the show. So we might do it earlier, sometimes days in advance, just to kind of accommodate to whatever events are happening on our lives as well. Because we're back not only here, but we're also back in IRL. We got a lot of work to do.
But don't worry, we'll be here. We'll let you know ahead of time when the adjustments come. And but we're still gonna be talking about toys because there's still toys being released, and we're not tired of this. At least I'm not tired of it.
I'm not tired of it either.
And I
Actually,
really need to go to a show.
I really look forward to it every single week.
Yeah, and I really need to go to a show because Jesus, man, come on, let's get back into the swing of things. I haven't bought a single toy, or like gone to a single show and say like, oh, this is kind of cool. I need to kind of get that back so I can slow down.
Yeah, it's like this itch that happens because I ordered the uni. It arrived. I have it in hand. I'm gonna do a video reviewing it, but I'm like, it just doesn't feel the same as picking up something in the wild. I
Yeah,
need to go thrift. I haven't gone thrifting since I came back. I need to thrift.
yeah. But when we do, you're gonna be the first one to find out to know about it. But until then, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to yet another Saturday Toycast. My name is Max, otherwise known as Mighty Max Toys, and joining me here is
Porcelain Piggy, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Porcelain Piggy and at Mighty Max Toys. And if you just want to be following the show and news of when we do any of these kinds of changes, I know we didn't post it this time, but I promise I will post the next time. Follow us at Toy Tangents, where we will keep you updated with any show changes that may occur when it comes to the schedule. And don't forget to follow us there because we will be posting stuff that we're up to. I know I'm going somewhere today, and I'll be
I
posting
have to be
things.
there.
Max has to be there. He has to.
I have
Uh,
I have to be there because I'm performing today. Uh,
I
we'll talk more about that next. Okay, so let me get my jitters out of the way. Let me get my gi nice and ready, and then I will see you later on today, and I will see you guys on Instagram throughout the day and next weekend. Bye.